Golden Retriever of Comedy Tour is officially upon us. September 25th, Los Angeles, the United Theater. September 26th, the Moore Theater in Seattle. And then, thank you, Portland. You're sold out. But I love you, and, you know, there might be a wait list. But then we got Tucson at the Rialto, October 3rd. The Paramount Theater in Denver, close to sold out, October 4th. DanSoder.com. Go there for tickets. Do not go to Google. For the love of God, do not go to Google. Go to dansoder.com. It's really fun. I'm bringing a lot of very funny people with me on this tour, and I think you guys will have a good time. I really think you do. Myrtle will not be there, but she'll be there in spirit. So dansoder.com for tickets. Golden Retriever of Comedy Tour. Happening now.
That was like, and that was, I guess, like Paul Simon went to school there and Cyndi Lauper went to school there.
Queens has got everybody.
Yeah.
Queens has got New York City, because you're from Orlando, right? Grew up in Florida.
South Carolina,
yeah.
then Orlando.
Yeah, it's always like when you're in New York and you hear about everyone that went to the high school of people, you're like, my high school sucked.
Yeah, I know. But also, like, in general, like, I grew up, like, when I was a kid, I would watch Sesame Street, right?
Sure.
But, like, they would always cut away, like, from Sesame Street to those filmed moments that were, like, all these, like, inner city school kids.
Sure.
You know,
with
like
New York accents?
Yeah. You know,
like, they'd be like, I don't know about that, Grover. It sounded like a plumber.
You know, those fucking kids were like, they were picking up, like, the Wall Street Journal and a coffee on their way to school.
Well, Manhattan kids, New York kids, I feel like...
They scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, they age it 5 times the rate.
I see them as I'm like in the mornings when I have to do stuff in the city, and I see them like going to school like unattended.
Yeah,
just
dude,
like
6 11-year-olds that are from New York City will make me very cautious.
And it's even worse if they have like a school uniform.
Yeah,
because then they really look organized.
Yeah, they're like, I know the Bible, I know what rules to break, and I'm gonna. Teenagers in New York City are scarier than teenagers anywhere else.
And teenagers everywhere are scary.
Everywhere, teenagers are scary because they still have child brains, and their bodies are blowing up at a rate that they're just like,
and their ability to take like from thought to action is like that. It's like nothing.
You know when you turn on a TV and someone has left the volume too high, and it just that's what a teenager is. It's just like that's
their as an embodied spirit.
Yeah, just like their whole life they're just like the volume's coming out.
What was the Stiller movie with was it Greenberg?
Which one?
The Noah Schwartzman, the Greenberg, where he was like this neurotic guy living in his sister's house, but he had this moment where he's doing drugs with all these teenagers and these rich and he's just like, you guys scare the shit out of me. He's like, one day I'm gonna have to like be up against a job with one of you guys.
Dude, New York. That's why New York kids can start businesses. Like when you meet people from New York, by the time they're 30, they're like, well, I had my first business by like 22. It's like, well, yeah, you were also in rehab by the time you were 12.
Yeah, like
that was when I met Manhattan kids when I started waiting tables in New York. You'd meet people who'd be like, I grew up in the city. And you're like, what's that like? And they're like, it's fun. You know, you're doing coke by 11.
Yeah,
totally. You're like, what the fuck? You're just doing yak and like still watching Power Rangers?
Yeah, I was like, that wasn't Orlando.
Well, Orlando has its own different kind of, I think every place has its own trouble.
It does, but
Florida's got
Florida is that like, especially Central Florida.
Yeah.
There's no discernible culture of its own.
Yeah.
Right? It's transient in nature. Yeah. So it's fast food, it's mini malls, and it's tourism is like the driving thing.
Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's what I think about.
Go to Margaritaville.
Yeah, I just think about restaurants that force the beach on you.
That's why I'm amazed at like people that come from like Orlando and then they come to New York.
Sure.
And they go to fucking Olive Garden.
Yeah, and you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You just break the cycle. Break the traumatic cycle. I'm the same way. I'm from Colorado. I'm from Aurora, which was mini malls, suburbs, and all that stuff. And you come to New York and you're like, this has been a restaurant for like 80 years.
Yeah,
like,
I'm amazed when I see a new restaurant. When I see a new anything in Manhattan, like if you see like a new nail salon as you're driving, and you're just like, good for you. Yeah. Good for you. You're going to fail miserably, but good for you.
I don't know if you feel about this, about performing, but when people are like, how do you go up there and do stand-up? Or like, how do you go up there and you go, how do you start a small business?
Yeah.
I can go tell dick jokes to 100 people easy. I cannot file taxes and fucking get the permits.
Once you've figured out, like in anything in entertainment, how to make a living out of it.
Sure.
The individual efforts, usually the stakes are fucking low.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really low. Like if you bomb, if I have a bad night, they pick them up next time. Yeah. It's probably going to be okay.
I don't know how you are, but I will like And no one notices.
Yeah.
No one knows. You like, I'll have a bad show and I'll be like, that sucked. And people will be like, great. And it used to be when I first started doing stand-up, I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
Right.
And then with enough therapy, I was like, oh, that is just me.
I just get like, I always get like, oh shit, if you liked that, oh, imagine if you saw me when I was good.
You would shit, shit out of your ears.
Yeah, you would blow me right here.
Now, what is bombing for a musician like? Because I would say for the last, it's been like over 20 years now, you've had a great fan base.
30 years with Matchbox.
So 30 years.
Yeah, and 20 years solo.
Yeah. So you have a fan base.
So like I just got off tour like Saturday.
Yeah. Oh shit!
And
did you just sleep
we
forever?
played LA. And I took the bus back because my wife and I stay on the bus. So we just got the bus yesterday back to my house. Pulled the bus up. I unloaded the bus.
Do you sleep better
tonight?
Home or bus? Because you're on the bus so much.
A little of both. I mean, because our bus is swank, right? Because it's a whole back bedroom. It's a one. It's just me and my wife on there.
I wrote with Bert Kreischer on his tour.
I imagine it's like that.
Yeah, he had a whole bedroom, and then the other bunks were fucking awesome.
Yeah, big condo bunks, the nice size bunks. I mean, it's really easy, and there's something about that motion of the bus that really just can lull you right to sleep.
I've said this before, but I know this is a dark thought. I can't sleep on buses because I hear the tread of the thing, and I look too much like Cliff Burton. So I'm like afraid of a bus accident.
Dude,
I don't want to die.
On the last Matchbox tour, our guitar player, my best friend Paul, we didn't tell him this until the tour was over, but he was on the bus that Scott Weiland died on.
No, you can't. Yeah, that's like anybody that believes in it. That's a great job. You didn't say shit.
So we all waited until the very last day.
Oh my God.
Oh, by the way,
cool fact.
Yeah. Did you feel it?
Pop up morbid. Like, dude, that would be if you told me that. The similar thing happened. Not with Scott Weiland. I wasn't like, this is the bus. That's gotta be a crazy thing to say to someone. FYI, that's where Scott Weiland died. My fiance and I were visiting my grandma, and we had to sleep in this guest room, and we just couldn't sleep in it. It was really hot, and she wouldn't put on the AC at night. And finally, on the last night, I was like, well, this was the room my dad and my aunt died in. And she was like, what the fuck, dude? She was like, and I did the same thing you did to your guitar player, where I was like, I don't want to tell you to the last day.
But by the way.
Yeah, she's like, well, we're never sleeping in here again. And you're like,
this is with your girlfriend?
This is my fiance.
So you guys were fucking in that room.
We did not have sex.
Oh, okay.
There was no chance of having any sex. My grandma's townhouse was, I would have had to have been 13-year-old horny.
Your grandma's famous, through your stand-up. She's basically famous.
She's dead now, and she never watched my stand-up.
Oh, really?
So she has no clue.
She was such a central part of so much of it.
She's going to be in the last hour. It's about her dying is one of the jokes.
When did she pass away, by the way?
A year ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know you guys are really close, though.
Yeah, we were. The last couple of years got crazy when the finances started getting involved.
Oh, yeah.
You're from Florida.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yeah.
When you start getting finances involved
and I have finances, which is,
This is where the
game
trouble
changer. Game changer.
This is inviting the vampire into the house, and you don't realize who's going to move which way.
Oh, man.
So I loved my grandma, but it was when she died, I was like,
good.
I was like, rotten piss, man. I'll see you later. It was one of those calls where you go, well, it was really funny. When the day I found out my grandma died was the day after Shane hosted SNL for the first time, and he was over here just eating lunch, and we're just talking, and I get a call, and I go, okay, all right. And I just go back, and I go, my grandma's dead, and everyone's like, the fuck? I sat down. I was like, anyways, is that you like that sandwich?
I was like, when my mom died, we had a problematic thing.
Okay,
and I was devastated.
Sure.
I mean,
how old are you?
This was 20 years ago, maybe. Okay. It was the day that Anna Nicole Smith died.
Damn. God took two angels that day.
Don't you know it? Don't you know it?
They were in line together.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, yeah, I'm Anna Nicole Smith.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
half of the liquor industry went, oh.
Our profits are fucking, they're going down. What's going on?
February 8th, 07.
Okay.
So that was when my mom passed. But the guilt that I carried was about how much easier I knew that my life was about to become.
Yeah, that's the thing no one tells you about death, is that you go, one less phone call to make.
Yeah. I was at the point where I would be like, my mom lived in Florida and so did my wife's family.
Sure.
And I would like go visit my wife's family on Thanksgiving and then like go out to a cul-de-sac somewhere and call my mom and be like, I'm sorry I couldn't make it.
Oh, I'm in the Alps.
Yeah. Like,
It's like trying to make noise. I would do that with my grandma. I would go to San Francisco and do shows and like go to 49ers games.
Yeah.
And then my grandma would be like, and then I'd fly back to New York. And my grandma was she was like 2 hours north of San Francisco. Yeah. She'd be like, how was your weekend? You're like,
yeah. But you can justify 2 hours. I mean, like.
I'm saying, I think it could be across the street and I wouldn't have done that.
And you still,
Because it's heavy. Family's always like.
It's so, as you get older, I can't imagine. I mean, I imagine it's for everybody.
I think it is. It's a human thing.
It doesn't come with, I mean, like you said, finances add another level of something because you have something. Yeah, and you understand not having it, right? Because none of us came from it.
I think it's the closest you and I will ever feel to having fake breasts.
Yeah,
totally. Where you just like all of a sudden people are like, "What are you doing?"
Like I have a small sense of what it's like to be a really hot girl by yourself
where you
in
get
a dark alley.
And then they go, "What are you fucking doing?"
Yeah.
Hey,
what you got under there?
I'm getting catcalled by my family. Like, hey, Richie Rich.
And hey, like, sweet tits.
Yeah, watch her shake it over here. And you're like, stop it. You were treating me different when I was poor. But yeah, you're right. I think it changes when you get older and everything. Also, that saying like you can't choose your family. Yeah. That's not true. Totally. When you get older, you go,
oh my God, 1,000% you can.
You go, I can absolutely. I got a block button.
I talked to my sister and like her family.
Sure.
I have family. I have no idea who the hell they are. I haven't seen them since I was 8.
Okay. Was there like a cutoff for people to be like, well, you weren't there when I was a struggling songwriter?
Well, even more than that, like, so me and my father, we have a weird. I pay for him to be. He's in assisted living in South Carolina.
Great,
but me and my mom, they had their own fucking, explosions, right?
Yeah.
That I was in the aftermath of, and because of that, like I always was mad at my mom because she was drunk and angry and violent, and I was mad at my dad because he was passive, and he would choose to not see me and not spend time with me to not have to deal with my mom.
That's a fucking tough.
By the time I was 17, I was hitchhiking around the South. I was living in my friends' cars. I was like fucking, sleeping on park benches. And so when I started to do well and my dad started to show back up, it wasn't about, oh, you want me now that I have money. It was like, by the time you want a relationship, I had already become self-sufficient.
Sure.
I like calling you on my birthday, or calling you on a birthday, or calling you on a holiday. That was not a part of my thing now.
Yeah.
And it's my wife's parents that are my family now.
Yeah, that's a thing that people don't understand is you learn how to like kind of cauterize a wound.
Yeah.
And then you go, well, what's the point of opening it back up?
Without a doubt.
It took so much work for me to shut you the fuck off.
Yeah.
And I think, man, there's like a lot of people that do the opposite where they go, I know it hurts, but I have to because it's my family. And you want to tell those people like, you don't though.
You don't have to.
And your peace is actually you getting them out of your life. If someone causes a lot of drama, I never understood that. I have friends that have mutual friends that are very chaotic. And I'm like, why do you hang out with that guy?
Oh my God.
And they're like, oh yeah, he's just my friend. And you're like, but I also have friends that are chaotic that I can take their chaos, and other people can't.
It's like,
so I think it's like
there's movies where they're kind of like gangster movies, and then there's always the one wild card that like no matter what he's like they're like okay, we're gonna keep it cool. It's like why did you bring the gun? I got the gun just in case. I got the gun.
He's Wingo in Heat. Oh, he shot the guy in the head because he was looking at me, and you're like
totally. There's like you have friends like that.
What the fuck? Yeah, that was I always have had a friend like that who might haul off and shoot the teller if we robbed a bank, and you're like, no, but for some reason that's comforting to me.
Sure.
And some people can't take it, and I'm always blown away by the people who know they can't take it and still put up with it.
Is it a good maybe there's a line like I have a drinking problem in that I drink too much.
Shout out.
But
who wouldn't?
But then
have you had the stuff?
If you have,
you want to drink all of it.
If you keep friends in your life that like wake up drinking, you're well, at least I don't wake up drinking.
Dude, that was, I talk about drinking a lot on this, but it was for me being like, I thought I was doing it the better way than my dad did it.
Yeah.
Because my dad was like, ruined his life being an alcoholic.
Same with my mom. That's the thing. Like, I'm like, well, I don't have that flask.
And that's exactly.
And I'm not, slipping it into my morning orange juice. And so therefore.
It just took one person going, well, you drink like pretty much the same. And you go, fuck.
Yeah, like, I think Amy Schumer once said, she said, like, she goes, oh, I drink too much. Like yesterday was the first day that I didn't drink and I drank.
Yeah. Me and Joe List used to have a thing where we would take Sunday off drinking. And then when we met up on Monday, we'd be like, look at us.
Yeah.
Sober.
Pat yourself on the back.
Yeah, we go. Let's go day drinking a little bit. But you know what? I think that's a thing that everyone has in them, where they just have something they like to do and they do it too much. Yeah. It's kind of like a loose tooth when you just want to play with it.
Man.
It's just that the whole time. Like video games. You're a big video game guy, right? Yeah. Do you do that on the bus? Does that help kill the time?
Yeah, a lot of times. I mean, now the funny thing is, I used to read like crazy. I used to play video games, and now.
Oh, where are they? Oh, they're here? That's so funny.
I have PR people?
I don't know. Dude, it's so... If he gets killed...
Yeah,
this was just like, I'm sorry, we're going to have to learn how to edit this ourselves.
I love how that's the highest take. If Mike goes down, I got to edit.
How are we going to get this out? That's where it becomes. You go, Mike, I value you as a human. As an editor, you're a god. No, that was funny. I've never seen him leave the room.
That's so weird. I have a brand new label, so I don't really know my people.
Is this your first album with them, right?
Yeah.
What is it like going on a new label?
It's great.
Like... Because they're like, it's kind of packed in here.
How are you?
If you want, there's a TV, and I don't know. This is kind of that's. I like that they're like, all right. Well, now the fun questions can't be asked. No, but it is.
So anyway, I got my dick in my hand.
Yeah. So tell me about all that money you've kept hidden from the IRS. No, but with a new label, do you feel like them trying like?
Well, they don't. So Atlantic, I think it got to a point where everybody that I knew was gone, and they make so much money off of my catalog of songs that they don't really have to care about the new stuff that I'm doing. And so when I made this deal with Universal Music, it was like, well, they have this record and they care about this record.
Yeah. So they're pushing it.
Thing. Yeah.
Did you, when you're around, you were at Atlantic for a long time.
Yeah. All the 30 years except for now.
Really?
Yeah.
What is that breakup like? Are you like?
Well, it doesn't matter. It's because it's all new. Like when I was there, fucking Ahmet Ertegun was still walking around the building.
That's
right?
crazy. That's like I went to like shit.
I did like a session at Sun Records with Ahmet Ertegun and Sam Phillips behind the board, with Jerry Lee Lewis like playing piano.
For those of people who don't know, Sun Records did like Jerry Lee Lewis, Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley. Yeah. Like those guys are like legendary.
Yeah, it's the spot. So like having like Ahmet in the building coming around. By the way, I fucking inducted him into like a Hall of Fame. I had dinner with him multiple times. Every time I met him, it was like he'd never seen me before.
That's really funny.
Like, hi, how you doing, young fella?
Yeah, he's like, I like your sound. Yeah. And you go, we've done albums together. And he goes, that's crowd, man. Oh, don't put me in a home. He starts getting real. Please don't put me away. Please, they want me to go away. But when you tell Atlantic,
so I went through all these different people, and then it came down to like brand new guy. Everybody else is gone. We'd like to restructure your deal. I'm like, I don't like that idea. I like my deal. And we come up with another solution where I just finished a record they paid for. They just gave me the record, squashed my debt, and was like, you can go wherever you'd like.
So you had like a clean breakup.
Yeah.
I think everything that we hear outside of the music industry is always that it's like devilish and like vindictive, and they're like, oh, you want to leave the record label? Well, I'll fuck you over. But this sounds like they were like, hey, good relationship.
Yeah, nobody like dangled me outside of a window like fucking Suge Knight.
You get Suge Knighted out of fucking. You go, dude, there's a hit on Rob Thomas. They're like, Atlantic wants blood. That's but it is great to hear.
When you think of Matchbox 20, you know we're from the streets.
You guys are dangerous.
You know that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, 3 a.m. That's a call. That's a call for gang members. Meet outside.
And now I'm up in Westchester.
Yeah, I love it. Your son's on tour with you.
Yeah, he's playing guitar with me now.
How awesome! How old is he?
27.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's the best ever.
What is?
And also, he's like, I'm like night 3, we're in like Nashville, and I'm like, hey, we got a night off. I call him up. I'm like, hey, me and the rest of the band, we're all gonna go grab some drinks. And he's like, I don't know, I'm a little tired. I think I want to rest up and kill it tomorrow. And he's like, who is this kid?
You go, what are you talking about? I'm your father. You're going to get out there.
You're going to get up. You're going to go drink.
You're going to come fucking party with us. Oh, boy, it's fall. I love it. I'm such a fall boy. Everybody goes, oh, Dan Soder, what a fall boy. But I do. I love chilly weather. And Mack Weldon is there. Mack Weldon's moving from summer to fall, and they balance classic pieces with updated details. They're going to keep you looking sharp, kid. They're not going to go flashy, just classic, always in style, and made from the world's most comfortable performance material. Get some button-ups. Maybe go on a nice brisk fall walk in a button-up. or even rock still some shorts. You know, there's still some hot days in the fall where you can do that. My favorite, the short hoodie combo. Maybe get some lightweight linen blend or Cool Max technology with the Cool Max technology. They also always keep that breathable underwear that keeps you cool, dry, and comfy all day with air knit underwear. Mack Weldon clothes are designed to fit your style and the demands of modern life. So get breathable clothes you can feel comfortable in all summer. Go to MackWeldon.com and get 20% off your first order of $125 or more with promo code DAN20. That's MackWeldon.com, promo code DAN20. Oh boy, you running a business? Well, how about you make it better with Square? No, I used to have to sell Bobby Kelly's merch, and when I opened for him, I would have to like sit out there and I would be like, dude, I used to get so anxious because I would be like, well, what if they don't have cash? You'd be like, well, tell them there's a fucking ATM machine, dude. I don't think I'm supposed to cuss in the commercials, but this is just true. And then I remember being specifically at Levity Live, going to like sell t-shirts to people after I opened for Bobby. And this guy was like, I got a credit card. What do you want me to do? And I was like, I don't know. But you know what? If I would have had a Square, I'd go, give me that. Give me that credit card and I'm going to swipe it. And then your money's mine. That's what it is. Square works for one location shops, pop-ups, mobile service businesses, multiple location franchises. Listen, you could take a payment at a kiosk, counter, website, or with your phone, all synced in real time. Square has built-in tools like loyalty and marketing to help you connect with customers and reward them for showing back up again. That's what I mean. And the use is easy. One of the first things I noticed about Square is just how easy it is to use. You just run the credit card and then bloop, 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 you got that money. With Square, you get all the tools to run your business with none of the contracts or complexity. And why wait? Right now, you can get up to $200 off Square hardware at square.com/go/Soder. That's SQUARE.com/GO/Soder. Run your business smarter with Square. Get started today. And does he have, now like you and your wife are on the bus, is that like him going into his parents' house when he's on the tour?
Yeah, he's on the band bus.
So he's like,
but then also
I'm with the band.
There was another level. It's not my wife's kid.
Okay.
There was another level where like on their last 6 or 7 shows, his band opened up.
Okay, that's fun.
But they would like finish their gig. They would get in the fucking van to drive to the next gig, and he would get into the band bus and be like, "Nope."
That's so funny.
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, I'm not gonna go in the van.
Yeah.
I've got a bump."
Yeah, totally.
Later, losers. But that is there any like father-son moments that are like where you have friction on the road where you're like,
no,
you guys get into an argument?
No, he's such a good kid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just a bunch of like, he really just wants to kill the gig. Like he's known this band. My solo band's been around for the last 20 years, so he knew them when he was 7. He'd be on the road, playing with these guys, and like now he's one of them.
That is,
and so for him. He went to Berklee College of Music.
Oh fuck!
He just wants to kill it. So that's all he thinks about.
What age did you? Because I mean, I think one of the hardest positions to be in is to follow your father in the job that they did. I don't know how. I
never pushed it, but I always encouraged it.
Okay, so you were like, was there a moment where you saw him have talent?
Yeah, when he was like 10, he wanted a guitar, so I gave him this guitar. And then when he was 16, he was like, I want a Pro Tools rig. He wanted to start recording. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
You're like, you gonna be a rapper?
Yeah.
Or
I was like, whatever your thing is, whatever you want to do,
Yeah, he goes, I need lean.
And I was always there. And then as soon as he graduated from Berklee, I was like, okay, here's the deal now. Don't get a backup plan.
Yeah,
this is
smart.
Now you got to be in.
Yeah, just chart. Yeah. I mean, also going to Berklee School of Music is like
expensive.
Yeah, expensive, but also like you're fucking good at music.
Yeah, by the time you get out, it's not Juilliard. Juilliard, you got to be great to go in.
What is
Berklee,
the difference?
you have to be like, you have to have a grasp of it. You got to be a pretty good to go in.
And Juilliard's
but if you do it right, when you get out, you're going to be great. Juilliard, you got to be great going in. It's like the New York school. Like you got to be.
It's like your parents pushed you into this.
It's like fame. I imagine. I thought.
Yeah, LaGuardia High School.
Yeah, I thought Berklee was going to be like fame. Like I thought I was going to go in there and just people were going to be like dancing down the hall.
Oh, their whole lesson today, they sang it at me.
And it's not. They all just look. They're all just like stressed, running around with their oboe.
That is. I never. The idea of a performance high school, I'm sure, same way you grew up in Orlando. Me growing up in Colorado, you'd be like, what do you mean performance high school? Yeah, there's like the theater kids, but there's not just a whole high school for it.
And I was like more of a theater. Like I was in like one time I did theater. I did chorus because I had this crush on this girl.
That was
where like the singing kind of started. But it wasn't like
look how that worked out.
It wasn't fucking encouraged.
Yeah,
by anyone.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the bravest thing a teenage boy can do is join drama or chorus, but the rewards, bountiful.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Play football, you're just going to have a bum shoulder like me. I wasn't even good at football. Yeah. And I certainly didn't get laid for it.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not like everybody in the team gets laid. All the drama kids get laid.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of the band kids, all of the drama kids. It is an orgy in high school. And meanwhile, I'm playing football and I'm getting light CTE for nothing. You think they want to fuck a kid on the kickoff team? They're trying to fuck the quarterback. It's like, I'm over here. I should have been in Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, man.
I would have been I just would have been like one of the...
By the way, whatever you were, whatever you were into, if you were a young, beginning to figure out being gay kid, drama. Oh my God.
Just if you have no athletic ability, just go to drama. Yeah. It'll be better for your business, professional life. It'll be better for your personal life.
So I fucking like. It was dark. So when I was really young, it would be like I was trying to learn how to play, and then my mom would just like tell me that I had no talent. But then she would come home drunk with like some new guy and wake me up and make me like perform for him while she changed.
That's a Dewey Cox story.
It was unbelievable.
That is fucking. Which she'd be like, "Hey, get up," and then
and then after like leaving school, I would fucking. Once when I was in high school, there was this army band came by. Have you ever had that where they come by and they play like popular songs, but they're still wearing like their fatigues?
Yeah, but they do like modern songs.
And they're like, you can do this if you join the army. And so I had a moment where I was going to join the army. Like I quit school and I got my GED so that I could take the ASVAB test or whatever, and I was like set up to like, okay, if you show up at,
basic training, you can jump in.
And it was literally like, a group of people jumped out like within a month before they were in a band. They're like, "Hey, we're looking for a singer," and I was like, "Oh, I want to try that."
So you were going to go to the army
because it was the best option. Because you saw the commercials; they do a good job,
and they recruit like a motherfucker for high schoolers.
Oh my God, they're just
call
running
you,
through.
They like act very interested in you.
You look dumb. Come here.
Yeah, they would they look at your GPA. I'm positive because I had a bad GPA and I was getting hounded by the army and the Marines. They were like, "What do you got in the fall?" That was basically every call they had to me. They're like, and I was going to college, and they're like, "No, you're not."
I always tested really well, and then, but I was the one who like couldn't apply himself.
Yeah,
and so it would always be the teachers like, you have so much potential. You're just squandering.
Hey, hold back. Would they do that a lot? Would like, Rob, can I talk to you for 5 minutes?
Totally,
and they go, I see that you're understanding the material. Yeah. You're just not applying yourself.
And you're a little disruptive in class.
I will say, I do think that is a brilliant strategy by the American military. Yep. To have a band come and play and go, you guys like music? You can. If they would have came to my high school and gone, you like doing psilocybin and smoking weed? We got a program where we're going to break your mind, and you'd be like,
well, now they do it.
I'm going into the army.
Now they do it with video games.
Yeah.
Oh, you like video games, man?
Oh my God, dude! I would have been.
Dude, you'd be right now.
Oh my God, I'd be in a little thing in Arizona, wearing my army uniform with a joystick. Just absolutely. You do Oculus, I heard.
I love Oculus, yeah.
You do?
Here's the thing, though.
It trips me out.
It's so fucking like lame. I have Oculus and I play like 3 things on it. One is mini golf.
It's great.
There's like this killer mini golf game.
I'm already on board with
mini golf, and then another one is power washing.
Dude, okay. Here's the deal. People will try to shit on this. I know a lot of people that find that video game incredibly relaxing.
My son says he plays it like on his computer.
Sure. My buddy Dez plays it and he'll be like, we'll play this boxing game. And there was a time where I texted him. He's like, hold on, I got to finish power washing this helicopter. And I was like, what do you mean?
I did the helicopter.
Yeah. And he's like, you got to get, and then he shows me the video and
but you're in it and you're in it.
Yeah.
And it's got this low hum. And I'm just washing away my problems.
It's so funny that we're turning manual labor.
Like, why don't I kill myself here?
This is what we're going to have to do they go, and now the newest game, strawberry picking. Yeah. And you go, it hurts my lower back, but I find it.
My wife is like, our fucking deck could use some power washing.
Dude, I get that. I would be
step outside
Can
now.
Please do it in real life so we live in a cleaner place. Living on a bus when you come back, like now that you're back, is there going to be a moment where you like, because I've heard musicians say this before, that when they become too, you almost got like sea legs.
Feral, too.
You're too feral and your sea legs.
Yeah.
You're on like dry land.
Yeah, my wife and I both, like when we come back, like when I was on the road without her, it would be more the feral thing, right? Yeah. Like I would come home for like, if I play in New York, I base out of New York and I come home every night. So like one night we're off And I'm sitting on the back porch with my wife, and we're just kind of sitting next to each other at night, and got my arm around her, and I'm having a cigarette, and we're just talking about something. And then absent-mindedly, as soon as I'm done, I take my cigarette and I just flick it across the yard. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And
we own that.
Yeah,
that's our grass.
I just forgot where I was for a second. Yeah,
and be like,
I forgot where I was for a second.
Yeah, but
both of us last night, like it was our first night sleeping at home in like over a month or so, and we both like would wake up and think we were on the bus.
Yeah. That's something that I think happens. He travels a ton. I travel. Yeah. We travel a lot. I still do the thing where if I'm at home for like I'll be at home for 2 weeks before the tour starts. When we go on the tour, I will wake up and be like, what?
Yeah.
Like that first night, I'll be like, but like a real fear, not like a joking fear. Like,
also,
and then you're like, okay, I'm in LA.
Our schedules are such that like for the first week or two at home at 9 o'clock at night, I don't know why I'm fucking wired.
That makes sense.
Because it's like
spots in the city.
That's got to be your noon.
Yeah,
you got to be like
you're
awake.
You're starting to peak, and you're like, I'm feeling fucking like around 7. I'll be like, what's going on?
Also, I drink faster now. Like last night, we were just sitting there, we're just watching TV and having dinner.
Yeah,
and I'm like on my third glass of wine, and we're not done with it. And because it's just going down. Quicker.
That's when I smoke weed on the road. It's like almost calculated.
Yeah.
Where I'll be like, all right, let me have like a hit before the shower, so then I can just sit in the shower, think of the show. No, I'm not going to get stoned.
Yeah.
But then I come out, I have a coffee, I get ready, I go do the show. When I'm at the show, I'm like, maybe smoke a little bit of a joint, then go on stage. When I'm at home, I'm just like, she just hears the window slide open, and she's like, for real? And I'm like, what?
I had somebody ask me the other day,
I'm smoking a lot of weed.
I had somebody ask me the other day if I still smoked weed, and I was like, yeah, I've cut down, And they're like, well, how much do you smoke now? I was like, I smoke every day, but I've cut down.
I'm in my 40s, so I'm starting to buy like heart supplements that are like, pair this with weed smoking, and you're like, all right, maybe I gotta cut down.
Are you at the point now though, with every feeling, you're just like, oh, that's the one?
I went and got scanned.
Yeah.
Because I was having.
I had to too for insurance reasons. But.
Okay, but we on this podcast. Mark Maron was on this podcast, and he was like, "Yeah, you should go get like a calcium scan." And I was like, I was trying to do that, but in New York, they said I was too young because I'm 42. They're like, no, you have to be over 50 to do it. And then I went and did it in Colorado.
I'm like at 53. The thing about it is like I'm too old to die young.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if you're in your 30s and you see, so and so passes at 32 and you're like, oh fucking God,
like
that's a tragedy.
Yeah.
And then in your 40s you're like, oh, and now in your 50s I'm just like I immediately got to go see why they died.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
I'm going drug abuse or cancer, long battle. Whenever it's like they just dropped on the spot, I'm like, oh fuck that.
In between 50 and 60, you see someone dies and you go, well, what did he do?
Collapse.
Yeah, and you're like, no. But then like, 70,
I get really healthy for a week.
What would be your ideal age to clock out? I think for me it's 75.
I think anywhere between that and 80 is probably a good spot.
70.
I mean, for the most part, my experience with it has been like, everyone I know is probably like, but like my mother, my stepmother, or my mother-in-law, is in her 70s and killing it.
Yeah, my mom's
Clive Davis was 90 and would still, was going for a while in his 80s really, really well.
Yeah, they go, it's almost like pitchers in baseball where you're like, the fastball drops off a little bit and they're like, maintain it, and then it just goes.
And the graph is like,
and then my grandma was like strong as fuck till like 94, 95. Yeah. And then it was just like.
What age did you, like with your grandmother, what age was the communication just not?
Around 95.
Oh, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, she was really good. We used to play cards and sit and talk, and she was always really sharp. And then around 95, she called me and she wouldn't remember we had conversations, which is, she's 95.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you mad about it? But then one time she called me and she was like, I fell. And I was like, what do you mean you fell? And she was like, I was just in the garage for 30 minutes. And you're like, oh, you have a life alert.
That is dark.
But she was like, old people don't give a fuck. Yeah. She was just like, yeah, then I just got up. And you're like, you just dusted yourself off.
So my experience is so different. My grandmother, so in South Carolina, my grandmother owned, it was like it was a very small racist tobacco town in South Carolina. and it was the little general store that was like the hub of activity.
Fun.
And then the house was attached to it.
Yeah.
So she always she would bootleg liquor out from under the stairs. She sold weed. When I was 11 years old, I could separate seeds from stems and make dime bags because I was making them up for the customers that would come through. Yeah. And it was like always a place where like all the activity was happening. Every Saturday night, there was somebody was getting shot somewhere nearby.
And how old were you?
I was anywhere from like 3 to 10, 11, 12.
That is
like during that time.
When you're around that kind of shady shit when you're 7 and 8.
Unbelievable.
Because it's not evil. It's not bad.
No.
It's what you know.
And then it was everybody. Like you could drive to the skating rink when you were 12 or 13 because your parents would just let you have a car because you're just riding dirt roads most of the places that you're going.
I mean, dude, imagine people doing that now. Because they would be like, I checked your GPS and you went a different route.
Yeah.
But you were like able just to drive. I was telling my mom this story when I was back in Colorado 2 weeks ago. There used to be this like teen dance night at this club in Denver. And my friends, we'd go, if we had Monday off school, we'd all go on Sunday nights. But me and my friend couldn't get in. So we were 15 maybe. And our friend was like, our friend who drove us there got in, threw me the keys of his car. And his dad's like big truck. And he's like, just wait in the truck until we come out. So we're sitting there and I'm like, I'm not waiting for 4 fucking hours.
Did you take the truck?
So I just took the truck. I'd never driven before.
Oh, that is
And
awesome.
I drove from Denver to Aurora to go to the only movie theater that I knew. We didn't have smartphones or anything. And I'm like, well, the only movie theater I know is like Seven Hills, so we can go there and watch a movie. And then we drove back.
How did you, was there any thought that like the guy was going to come out earlier and your truck wasn't going to be there?
You left us out there. I was like, well, then when we get back, we'll get him. The only thing I was worried about was getting pulled over.
Dude, no phones. I remember like being overseas and like waking up in some stranger's apartment and then somehow finding my tour manager. Like being a tour manager in the 90s.
Were their job was
the hardest job in the world. Yeah.
So they would go find you.
Dude, I mean, it was like almost famous moments. Like literally where like you'd figure it out and the bus would come up to wherever you were and you'd get on the bus and you'd
So is there someone that has a story in like Sweden where they're like, Rob Thomas slept on my couch last night?
Yeah.
Like from the 90s?
Yeah.
They're like, we went to go see Matchbox 20. Next thing I know, we're waking up having coffee with Rob Thomas.
Or just like you'd meet a girl in a hotel and you'd wind up going back to her place and then you'd wake up and nobody was there. Like you'd wake up and like she's gone and her roommates are like, you want some eggs? And
you're like, my tour manager's probably looking for it.
I don't know.
How would you reach out to
Where's your hotel? I don't fucking know. And it's something in German and I don't really know the name of it.
How would they find you?
I don't remember. Like I would literally have to figure out how to get back towards the hotel, especially like overseas, because in a hotel there's no bus or anything to do with. When it was on the road, usually I had a partner in crime. It was like me and another band member would like leave the gig, walk right out the front door with like some people we met and just go to their house and like have some big party.
Awesome.
And then we would always try, like the only good thing was you had to know the pager number of your tour manager. Like that was the key. If you knew that by heart, then you could pretty much accomplish anything.
We should go back to that.
Man,
let's just scale
Can you imagine
it back
this?
down.
Like, and I've been married for 27 years, so I wouldn't say this for my marriage now. But could you imagine like when I'm younger and I was starting out, and you go on the road, and you're just like, oh, I'm getting on a bus. I'll call you when I'm near a phone.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
That's why none of my relationships worked out.
Dude, and I'll have so much to say to you. Of course, everyone doesn't like phones. You're running out of stuff to say.
There's no, my wife and I, I'm just like, we've been texting all day.
I can follow your day.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how your day was.
I'll tell you exactly what you did.
We were texting about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there is a thing. What I love about, this is like obviously the best relationship I've ever been in, but one of my favorite parts is there is no like, okay, call me when you get there or call me. We just text like almost like I'm here, like in town.
Yeah.
So when I come home, I could tell her everything that happened.
Yeah, well, my wife and I text in the house. Like we spend most of our mornings, like I wake up, I'll bring her some coffee and I'll like go work out or go, to the studio or be doing something in the house. And she's upstairs doing stuff and we might not see each other till 1 and we're just kind of like texting each other.
Yeah. It's great. Their distance does make the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
If like people that are up in each other's butts, you're like, I would hate this relationship.
I mean, like now the reason why I'm married is because like now I'm going to be gone and I'm not sure if we're going to be together for the month that I'm in Australia. And that bums me out. And that's why I'm married.
That's
because
exactly
it's not like, I'm not looking forward to that separation.
Not like getting away, gonna have some fun.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, who am I gonna hang with?
Yeah, I don't believe. Like, I don't believe in like boys' night. My life is a boys' night out.
That should be a phase.
Yeah.
When you're in your 20s and you're looking for someone, have boys' nights out. When you're in your 30s, hey, if you're in your late 30s or 40s and you go through a divorce, have a boys' night out.
Yeah.
But the point is, you want to find someone that you're like, I like coming back and hang out with you. My question about phones to you is, how much has it affected music? Like, how much has it affected your interaction with the audience?
I mean,
smartphones specifically, like,
yeah, there's a thing there, right? There's a physical barrier now between you and a lot of the fans sometimes, which is kind of a weird thing because
they're looking at you through a thing.
Yeah, I mean, thank God. Like, there are certain times where 20 years later, I can go back on YouTube and like figure out what guitar we were using on what song when we used to play it. You know,
that's it.
Like, or like we used to do the cover. Like, no, we used to do this, and you pull it up. You know,
that's awesome. But I remember hearing I remember reading.
It's not about the shows. It's about the fucking street.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I remember being a kid and starting out in this business and like making some horrible mistakes, but then learning from them and moving on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Life.
And like getting into some fight in a bar and rolling out. Like, if that would have been everywhere.
It would have been.
Now.
I mean, and
like
also
when I think about the Biebers of the world, like there's a sadness there of like, man, you don't get time to make your own mistakes.
To grow into it. I think about that. We talk about this all the time with stand-up, where it's like young comics now have to put up their stand-up immediately.
Yeah.
Like they're doing it for a year and they're like, here's my jokes. Dude, it gives me nausea to watch myself before year 5. Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? I don't want that up there.
There's an old adage that like if you make a record, your first record is the record that you have your whole life to make. And then your second record is like your sophomore record.
Sure.
But the band that I was in when I first got signed, we had this very litigious breakup, and I was so fucking mad because I didn't know anything, and I signed away all the songs that I had written. I signed away to all of us, right?
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, you can't go anywhere with these songs, and we're gonna da. So within like 6 months before the first Matchbox record, I wrote that record, all except for one song.
No way.
That was left over.
Out of what? Out of like frustration with the band?
I was like, you know what? You keep those songs. I don't fucking need them. And the point is,
this.
When I listen,
now they're haunted by those songs the rest of their lives.
No, they tried to release them, and they're not good songs. And that's
I mean, like, it's funny that they had those songs, and you're like, yeah, keep that. Watch this. It's 3 a.m. Fuck you, motherfuckers.
But like when I listened to that earlier stuff, I was like, holy shit, that would have never gotten me where I'm at now.
Yeah.
That stuff was regional. I think, like when you hear something, the best way to describe it is like, oh, that's regional.
Yeah. It's also like, it's similarly what we're talking about. There's benefits in failing.
Yeah.
There's benefits in failing because you go, that's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
Let me try it again. And then this time it's fucking what you know me for, or it's like way better. And I feel that way about stand-up. I even feel bad because like I was doing a show, I was doing Joe List's show with like Mark Norman and Louie, and we're sitting there watching Norman, and I said something to Louie, and Louie goes, how long you been doing this? And I was like, 20 years. And he's like, you don't know anything. Not till you're like 30 years in and you're like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I am like
20 years, you were like patting yourself in the back.
Yeah,
that's
you go, I'm a
20-year
vet. And then this guy goes, no, you don't even know shit. And he's right. Because there's stuff that you figure out that you go, I wish I fucking knew this.
Well, especially like even more, I think for you, I mean, writers in general.
Sure.
But more for you because this is like there's a real time correlation between everything that you've learned and what you're about to say about it.
Yeah.
You know,
I think see, I feel opposite. I feel like with songwriting, that's like such a place where you have to put real emotion that you're like, it just lives in this jar. Whereas like stand-up, you go, I was kidding. Like if anyone's mad about it, you go, it was a fucking joke. But songs are like, I meant that shit. I fucking meant that shit. I think that's like why Big J and I always used to joke around that we don't have the thing in us to be serious, to be like, I fucking love you. Because then if anyone does, you go, I was kidding. Oh, fuck, I'm a pussy. I'm just scared. I'm so scared.
That's fucking great.
Oh, dude. There was a day where you came into Sirius XM and
I ran into
Big J?
Yeah, when you guys were doing, and I was a fan of the show.
I never believed them.
Yeah,
I never believed that.
I heard you guys talking about it
because I didn't believe him until right now, and Rob telling me this.
Yeah,
I always thought Jay was fucking with me.
I just saw him outside having a cigarette, and I came over. I was just like, I was like, I'm a big fan of you guys.
Yeah. He was like, Rob Thomas likes us. I was like, yeah, sure, Jay, fuck you. You know, and then you're like, oh fuck. But we were like, we're always blown away. I always love when you find out people like what you do. Have you found someone that likes your shit that like obviously you collab with Santana or whatever, but has there been someone in music that has came up to you and you're like,
I mean, all the time, like
you've heard my shit.
Also, in like Nikki Glaser came to our show the other day, and I'm just like, holy shit. And then the second time she came, I was just like, you're famous now. Look at you.
Yeah, look at you, big, hosting award shows, getting big. But I think like was there been other musicians that have heard your shit?
Like when Smooth first came out, I knew that it was going to be a hit because I was walking through. It was the Bellage at the time in LA, and Jason from Metallica, when he was still in Metallica,
Yeah, hell yeah, Jason Newsted.
came over and he's just like, dude, that fucking song rocks. And I was like, yeah.
Did that make you feel like, oh, fuck?
Totally.
Yeah, because I mean, that's like, I mean, dude, you know, my family's Bay Area family, so Santana was like, 70s and
he's such a monster. I mean,
do you see him ever? Because he's
all the time
76.
Well, I mean, we talk all the time.
That's
like,
awesome.
We send each other songs back and forth, and like when we're working on new stuff, we'll share it. And if we're both on the road, we talk almost every night because we'll like get off the stage and be bored and just be like start texting each other.
So like comics,
because
that's what you do when we know we're on the road. You're just like, hey, you're in fucking Iowa City right now.
You're awake.
Yeah. What do you like, for real? I have more confidence in calling my comedian friends at like midnight more than noon. Yeah. Because noon, I'm like, I don't even know. They could be traveling or sleeping. But if I call them at midnight, I'm like, where are you at?
Yeah, I know you're up.
Or if I see them make an Instagram post and be like, great show, Baltimore. And you're like, this motherfucker's up.
Yeah. You're either up because you had a great show or you're just killing yourself because you didn't.
Yeah. And or you're outside smoking a joint and you're like, hey, I think weed's still like super illegal here. So I just want to talk to someone as I walk around this empty business parking lot. What's your favorite city to go to? Because I feel like you've been on the road for over 30 years. Yeah. So is there still cities? I'm getting like, I get to the point now where I go to a city and I go, I think I like this more, like Indianapolis. Yeah. I'm like, I think I like you more than I did last time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really goes, because I'm a narcissist, to some degree to do that. Like, you have to be a narcissist to some degree to be like, oh, I have thoughts and you need to fucking hear them.
Yes. It's absolutely me first.
Yeah. Like, when I knew I was a narcissist when I had the realization, because I used to be so scared of flying on a plane.
Sure.
And I used to think of the irony factor, right? Like the first time, like if I was like, oh shit, I did Letterman for the first time, that would be ironic.
You're looking for your La Bamba theory,
right? But
you're like, it's finally happening.
I realized that I was a narcissist because I wasn't thinking about the other 300 fucking people on the plane, and like somehow they were just extras in my story.
Beautifully put. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is how bad narcissist comedians are. I've had conversations about this of being on planes and going, well, yeah, if we died, they're going to mention you, not me.
Like, Jim Gaffigan did that to me.
Yeah,
dude,
that's such comic brain to go. You're the headliner.
We were on a plane coming back, and it was like we had borrowed a private plane because we were doing this event. It was me, Kiefer Sutherland, and Jim Gaffigan. And
great lineup.
Somebody else. And as we're on the plane, and when we hit turbulence, Gaffigan's like, nobody's going to mention me.
And the only way they would is if to make the headline about it, like
And then he's like, yeah,
no laughing matter.
Kiefer Sutherland, Rob Thomas, and comedian.
Yeah, oh fuck, that's the one that would hurt everybody if you go comedian. Like Gaffigan's like comedian. I've done 15 specials. Yeah, that's always where entertainers are. That's why I don't think entertainers should ever give advice to people. Yeah, because we're so inside our own brains. They're like, I don't know how to help you. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can listen to something that I say and it'll help, but I'm not going to tell you.
That's my answer now, especially for younger generations. Like, I every time I've released a record over the last 20 years, it's been a different landscape, and people are experiencing music differently, and people are putting it out in different ways. So like when I talk to my son about his band, I'm like, I don't know that I can talk to you about songwriting. I can talk to you about intention when you do something musically, but when it comes to like releasing something, I don't know.
Have you seen anything in the music business that's been like almost cyclical, like come back around where you go like, oh, singles were big when I started and now they're bigger again?
I mean, formats, I'm sure, but it's more kitsch, right? LPs, people are like, oh, I love my LPs, or I like CDs again.
But I also think like I used to work at like a rock radio station. That's where I started. And it's interesting.
Was it in Colorado?
I started in Tucson at KFMA. Shout out KFMA Day. But it was interesting because it was like that is now nostalgic. Yep. Like all the alternative, like you're seeing young kids that have no idea wearing Nirvana shirts and shit. And you're like, oh, fuck, all right, it's coming back around. Kind of like the way the 70s did when we were growing up. Sure. Became cool for us to like shit from the 70s.
Yeah, I think the 90s, I think 90s is coming through in a really big way.
Would you ever I hate when celebrities do commercials, specifically like gambling ones or AI ones, stuff that celebrities that I know are making a ton of money. Right. I'm like, you don't need this. Right. The only time I feel good about it is when I go like those nostalgia tours. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're like early 2000 R&B ones, and you go, or like rock bands. Have you guys ever been pitched on those?
We have. We it's kind of a rule with us is like we don't want to, because I'm like, well, we would be on like the early 2000s. That was like our heyday, right?
Yeah. Who would you book that? Who would you book if you were to do one like an ultimate? I don't
know,
like a graduating class,
right? Third Eye Blind,
sick. I mean, all right, I'm already buying a ticket. And you're telling me
the Goo Goo Dolls,
fucking sure. Bring it, dude. I'll bust out my
we've done tours with us and the Crows, but like the Crows came out before.
Sure.
Like I remember being like, we were a young band doing Counting Crows covers like at colleges, you know, when we were playing.
Dude, I mean, and Adam knows. Yeah. He created a whole genre for dudes. That's acoustic guitar.
Yeah. You know what's funny, dude? I'm having this is no joke.
I didn't think you were gonna hit me with an Adam. It's a perfect fucking.
I'm gonna fucking. Yeah. I have a Zoom call with Adam on the ride home today.
No shit.
Yeah, that's so fucking funny.
Yeah, dude. I mean, what's funny about Counting Crows music is it's either super flirtatious or it's the saddest shit you've ever heard.
Yeah, totally.
You go, I'm gonna do Long December and make you cry.
And now I don't know if you've heard any of the newer stuff, but it's like those old Springsteen. They're like 10 minutes long, and they don't really have a verse and a chorus. They just meander into like these stories.
About a guy losing a job.
Yeah.
And he's like, And
the guy on the street takes his shoes and his feet, and he puts them downstairs, and he doesn't care, and he walks.
I'm ready for that version of Counting Crows.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Of like 10-minute long songs.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah. When's the next time? Now that the solo album, you just finished that tour.
Yeah, so I'm going to Australia in a couple weeks. Solo still.
So that's the thing about touring with you guys that I think is absolutely fucking insane is we go Thursday to Sunday and we bitch like we're on the road. You're gone a month, 2 months.
Yeah.
What's the longest you'll go out now?
Like the last Matchbox tour was almost like 4 months, which is crazy.
How many times in those 4 months did you go to your house?
Just one like 3-week period when I was basing out of Jerseys and Pennsylvanias and things like that. And then my wife would like we try to not be apart more than 2 weeks, so she would come either meet the bus or maybe leave once we was in New York. She'd jump on the bus and then ride for a while. So as long as I'm with her, I'm home. It's not that big of a deal, like to not be in my house.
Yeah, I would. I think if I ever went homeless, I would squat. I'd look at who's on the road.
If I wasn't
I'm going to get to
married,
their house and squat.
I would live on a bus probably.
Really?
It would be the greatest ever.
You think so? If you were not married, you just live on that bus.
I could see that happening.
You could do that comfortably?
I think so.
Damn, if
just
I could
pull it over, like just pull up my friends' yards and be like,
yeah, you got a TV, got a bathroom.
Yeah. I could still Carlos has a great beach house in Hawaii, so boom,
sick.
I could knock out a month right there.
That is sick. That also sounds like a
professional mooch.
That sounds like a great restaurant, Carlos's Beach House.
Yeah.
You go, have you been to Carlos's Beach House in
It's
Hawaii?
Fucking great. It's the crab cakes?
Oh my God, they do. I'm telling you right now, the crab cake.
It's the aioli.
They do a ceviche that'll make you shit. I've not gotten comfortable on the bus, and I know a lot of comics that like do the bus thing. Sometimes I got to poop in the middle of the night.
Right. Well, you can poop on the bus now. Yeah, dude. Listen, fuck AI. Let me tell you about the future.
Comics buses.
Comics buses. You can poop on your bus?
Yeah. They have
we're both looking at each other like, tell us.
My bus driver has a theory that you always actually could poop on buses, but because normally a bus has like a lot of people on it,
they
just don't.
They don't want to carry it.
That's a lot of poop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you don't want to be Dave Matthews and just dump it on a river in Chicago.
Like I was Willie Nelson when I was hanging with Willie on his bus, and he was just talking about how he never gets off the bus. Even when he gets home, he parks his bus outside. And like we'll do his laundry in his house, but stays on the bus most of the time.
That's so funny that he's like just thinking of going, Willie, get off that damn bus. And he's like, I ain't coming off my bus.
That's why he's been married 5 times.
Yeah, because he goes either if you want to see Willie, you're gonna have to get on the bus. His weed, by the way.
I like that because he was talking about his dick too. Did you get it?
Talking about that Willie bus. Willie Nelson's weed was, I don't know if you ever smoked it. The Willie's Reserve.
Yeah. Dude, I turned Willie onto this weed back in the day when you still had to like have a guy that you knew to get weed. Like in California, we used this guy named
we can blur it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But so I was on the cover of High Times, so I can't hide the fact that I was.
That's sick. That is the coolest magazine cover to be a part of.
We hung out with Willie for like 2 or 3 days. We were writing some music, and I called my guy, and the guy came over. But the kind of caveat like it is sometimes, we had to listen to his demo tape, and it was like a fucking bad metal band, and all the songs were like, you know, Satan's Spawn, and it was all like super, like crazy metal. But then I get home like 2 weeks later.
Real quick though, can I just tell you, I have to interrupt right here. It is so soothing to know that famous people have to sit through the weed dealer, smoke a bowl, listen to their story.
It's the best thing.
But you have to way worse. You have to listen to his fucking demo.
The best part of legalization of weed is that you no longer have to pretend to have a friend.
Yeah, go, oh, that's so cool.
I really want to hang out in your apartment, but I got to get out of here.
When he played the demo, is it you and Willie?
Me and Willie. And then I fucking left for a minute. I just left Willie in there for like 5 minutes. But so he plays all this stuff, and then like 2 weeks later, I get home and I get a call on my phone, and it's like, and my message, and it's like, hey Rob, it's Willie. I'm in LA, and I need to get the number for that devil weed.
He goes, I want to sign that guy to my label. I'm just kidding. I need his weed. His band sucks ass.
He did. He's like, I hope his weed's better than his music.
Oh my God, dude. Do you imagine the thought of playing a shitty song for you and Willie Nelson and going like,
and I'm not, and did he, I mean, it was like 6 songs and he played them all.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Were you getting high during it at least?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if he was making you wait to smoke weed, I'd be like, this deal's over.
I don't miss that at all.
Yeah. The getting weed, when I moved to New York, especially when I moved to Queens, I learned I have to go get in the back of a car that just pulled up and then drive around. Yeah, wasn't a fan of that.
I want to get high, so I'm going to put my life in my own hands.
And it'd just be a tinted out Cadillac, and I'd get in and I'd be like, hey, I'm Dan.
That was like my whole life when I was hitchhiking, because that's the whole idea. Like 3 a.m, it's like fucking weirdo roulette.
Would you, when you're hitchhiking and you're in Florida, one of the most dangerous places to hitchhike, what weapon do you have on you?
My wits.
No way. You're just going to fool them into letting you out?
My wits and a
Weren't
keyboard.
You worried about like crazy people picking you up?
I had a few different things. Like a guy that once was really convincing me how I needed to get into porn, but I had to do gay porn because that's where the real money was.
Yeah, dude. And by the way, I bet he thought he was cooking.
Yeah.
I bet he was like,
close your eyes, imagine that guy. That's the guy.
And he goes, hey, I'm telling you, it's a good life.
Yeah. And then I had one guy, he pulled over, and I put my stuff in the back of his truck, and we're driving along, and he was eerily quiet, kind of scary quiet.
Yeah.
And he's got these golf clubs in the back. So I'm trying to break up the silence, and I was like, hey, so you play golf? And he looks over, and I'll never forget this because he says it's fucking verbatim. He goes, listen here, son. I'm a gay person. Do you mind if we pull over up here and I suck you?
You go, no, but I like that you're right to the point.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah.
I was like, and I go, no. And he goes, oh, no. And he reaches over to kind of starts like really grabbing at me.
Yeah.
And so I just started like messing with the gear shift as we're driving on the road.
Yeah.
And the truck, starts blah, 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 blah. And so then I jumped out, I got my bag, and he just drove off.
And he goes, 0 for 1 today.
Yeah, another one down.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you know what? You're going to lose some worms if you're going fishing.
You miss 100% of the shots.
Yeah, that's what he thinks. He goes, I don't know. You get 3 out of 10, you're a Hall of Famer in baseball. Yeah, that is wild. I like it. You didn't think about like the direct approach of just going, I'm a gay man. I'd like to pull over here, and I'm going to suck you. I'm a suck you is so funny.
Yeah, I'm
going to suck you.
There was something very polite about it.
Yeah, it's the A. And
if you don't mind.
Yeah.
It was an if you don't mind.
If you're not busy, I know you're
got nothing going on. My mouth, your dick right now.
And then we don't worry about golf. We don't talk about golf in this club. We only talk about gay blowjobs. Yeah. That's really funny. No golf talk, only gay sucking in here. Was there ever a moment in hitchhiking? What was your last hitchhike? Do you remember?
I was like 30. No.
Yeah. You go last week just to get home.
I don't remember the last one. I think it was like low. It was fun. It was me and my buddy. We were hitchhiking from one part in Florida to another part in Florida, but we met up with like a car full of these girls that drove us to this party, and we hung out there till like 10 in the morning the next morning, and then they kind of drove us back and dropped us back off, and it was
the greatest story of all time.
It was nice.
So you go, I'm going to leave on a win.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it. Hitchhikers, if you're watching this, leave on a win. Don't get sucked. Don't get sucked and leave on a win. And leave on a win. You're doing the Australia tour. Where after that?
So then I'm going to come home. A bunch of like one-off stuff. Next year, we're starting the Matchbox 30th anniversary. So we'll start like maybe some festivals.
That'll be fucking big.
Not 90s festivals.
No, dude, don't do them. Don't try to book them on that. All right.
We want to be like, our thing is we'd rather be like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in a festival that we would want to go see than be the headliner of like a festival that we don't want to be at.
That's my thing is you guys are such a successful band that I'm talking about when I see bands from the 90s that I like maybe think have like 1 or 2 hits and I see them on that thing. My thought is never, I go, get paid.
It's a good, yeah.
I like that.
There's a lot
I think those festivals exist for a reason. Same way cruise ship comedians.
Yeah.
I go, fucking get paid.
I used to feel that way about corporate gigs. Like I thought corporate gigs were kind of lame.
Yeah.
But then to me, it's a very honest way to make a buck. You
Listen,
play music, someone pays you to play music. That's kind of what I do.
Yeah, I think there should be like a consciousness of how well you're like. My problem is the guys that are doing so well, taking checks that you go, well, I know you don't need that, and that makes me feel gross as a fan.
Right.
But when there's guys that you're like what I'm talking about, guys you haven't heard since like 97, you go, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Go get that. I hope you're all right.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about commercials. When I see songs on it, I go,
totally.
Get them that fucking check.
When we were coming up in the 90s, like commercials were it was the biggest no-no. You don't do any ads. You don't do anything.
I'm fascinated
ever.
with this subject because you're right. It was like selling out was a gross thing.
Yeah, there was
like,
fucking REM would never do that. Nirvana would never do that.
You would never give it to
You'd go by that. Like what were these bands would never do that. But then when things started to take a turn in the traditional sense of the music business, it was only bands like Death Cab for Cutie and Wilco and those bands that were doing these commercials all of a sudden. They were like the coolest of all bands. They were doing the commercials because they weren't making arena money.
Yeah.
They were
doing smaller venues.
They had integrity and they were like, playing. They had a small group of people that cared about them a lot.
But isn't that funny though that they were like so focused on having integrity and being small that they end up doing the most sellout thing, which is like giving it to a Ford truck.
Yeah.
Where it's like Ford Ram will follow you into the darkness.
Yeah.
And it's like Death Cab for Cutie playing and you're like, this is fucking wild. You're like, I didn't even think this was gonna be a thing. Because I have like a small theory that I think rock music has been damaged by truck commercials.
Did it start with Bob Seger and Like a Rock?
Kind of.
I mean, that's the first one that comes to mind.
So,
I got into a big fight about that with Willie Nelson of all people. Like we're talking about, we're talking about, and I was like young, super idealist, and just like you don't fucking. You don't do this. You don't. If you're not an actor, you don't. And Willie was like, "Well, I've been in like 7 movies, Rob." And I was like, "Okay, not you." But
I mean, I'm doing that. I do that all the time with comedy. I go, "You don't do that." All right, well, you did it, but I like you.
Yeah,
I don't
the way
know
you
what
did
I'm
it though was right.
Yeah, but I my buddy Brendan Sagalow goes on the road with me, and we'll be driving somewhere, and I'll have my phone, so I'll be playing like my music, and it'll be a rock song. And one time he went, it just all sounds like truck commercials now.
Right.
So now whenever a rock song comes on, without a habit of ours is going like, with the new F-150, you got tow capacity up to 35.
You're not wrong. I there was a hint like the other day there was a commercial on the Goo Goo Dolls where it was for a car commercial.
Sure.
And there's a half of me that was just like, oh man, I can't believe, and the other half is like, man, I can't believe I didn't get that commercial.
That's the same thing about the plane going down. It's the same thing about the plane going down. That narcissism of like, why didn't Ford want my song?
Yeah.
I
don't want to do it, but I want them to want me.
Yeah, you go, I don't know. I think it'd be pretty sick to have a Hemi with I would want that. That's very funny. That's also like, it feels good to know that everybody feels that way.
Yeah.
Because I think what sucks the most is when you think you're the only one that thinks that way, and then you think there's something wrong with you, and you're like, no.
I mean, right down the street, somebody feels like that. I mean, with whatever like inner office politics somewhere, like that people are getting. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
There's a certain level of of this. There's a hierarchy and there's a jealousy.
Yeah.
And there's a
You can work at a company where you are doing great work and you're doing it the right way, and then you're going to watch a complete sociopath who cares nothing about the quality of work, but knows how to like network go up, and then you go, fuck, and you go, that's the entertainment industry, brother.
Yeah.
There's people willing
the way
to,
it is.
It's just the way willing to cut the back of your knees to get ahead.
It's not called Show Friends.
And you print that shit. The new album, All Night Day, out now. Rob, you're the fucking man.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe you said yes to doing this podcast.
Can I tell you this, by the way? I drove straight through on the bus from LA to here and only did one stop because I had to get back in time to be able to do this podcast. I was like, dude, whatever I got to fucking do, I'll make it work because I'm such a fan.
Dude, thank you.
I'm a comedy nerd.
Yeah.
Like
It blew my mind that you loved the bonfire, and I can't tell you how much that meant, because when we found out that you heard us doing that thing where we were going, I think we did for like 30 minutes, we were going, give me a
you did. It was hilarious. It was fucking hilarious.
But how the fact that two stoners smoked a joint outside, Smooth was playing in the lobby, and that's why we were doing it, to make each other laugh.
Yeah.
The fact that you heard that and found it funny, both Jay and I were like, Rob Thomas is the fucking man.
Well, I mean, I fucking think like Jay, his whole bit about his daughter's bush is like one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my entire life.
I'm telling you right now, Big Jay Okerson is Ernest Hemingway of pussy jokes, but not only that, he's one of the funniest human beings of all time. So the fact that like you heard our silliness and we're like, oh no, that's fun as shit. You're like, oh, that's the best.
No, it really was. I wanted to do anything I could to be here, man, because I'm a fan of your podcast. I'm a fan of your comedy.
You're the man. Rob Thomas. This is just me saying Rob Thomas is the man. Check out the new album, All Night Day. And yeah, dude, I want to come out and see like shows.
Let's go.
Yeah, hell yeah. I want to get high with Rob Thomas.